Hi, everyone. This is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman. And tonight we are talking about literally the blue moon that's coming up in just a few weeks. I think it is a great time to really talk about it because it gives you an opportunity to kind of understand and take advantage of this amazing energy. So I am so excited about all of this. I'm going to start my little promo because I have some new things that are coming up. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. We've got some new dates for things. So as people start clicking on, make sure that you say hello. And I am going to start my promo on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and something else. I can't even remember. I'm coming. So hold on just a second. So I am so excited. We've got some new things that are coming out. As people start clicking on, we're going to just talk a little bit about kind of like just full moon energy. Full moon energy is really a very special time of the month because a lot of things kind of like fall away from us. And I'm going to explain all of this. A lot of times people get like, they're so entranced with the full moon and they don't really understand the energy of the full moon. So it's kind of like, what is the energy of a full moon? Well, the basic energy of a full moon is to release things because it's things that's giving you a completely different insight into what you've already been seeing or dealing with. Or as y'all click on, say hi, let me know where you're from. I love knowing where y'all are from. Last time we had some people from Seattle, Washington. So full moons kind of give us a deeper insight. So you think about like if you've ever been out during a full moon, it really does give you a different view. It's one of those things are lit differently. Of course, with the sun, everything is kind of lit. There's shadows and there's darkness, but it's usually very, very bright. It's one of those, but when the full moon is out, it dimly lits things. So things that you might have overlooked in the full sun, you can't overlook in the full moon. It's like, oh my gosh, you'll see things so many different ways. You'll have insight, not only to like just being outside in that energy, but I guarantee you, you will also have this amazing energy of just like connecting into all of this. You're going to have new insights into relationships, new insights into what's going on, things that you're kind of like, oh, I don't want to deal with that again. So let me let this go. So there's a lot of amazing insights that are coming in with all of this. And a lot of times this can be like habits that you've had for a long period of time. Like, I hate that I'm always late. I hate that I'm always late. I hate that I'm always late. So then you give this opportunity of like in the full moon, I can make this new agreement with myself to be on time or to be even a few minutes early. That starts giving us a different way to look at it. Changing relationships. I guarantee you full moons, especially eclipses and stuff like that. Like, and we have like in our blue moon, we have like a blue full moon in the sign of Pisces. So that is going to be giving us a great opportunity to make some amazing changes for us. So yeah, we're going to be loving that one. And kind of really tell you kind of full moons are revealing. They increase our intuition. They really start helping us connect our own internal wisdom to what's going on around us so we can appreciate things differently, maybe getting some new insights into like what we should or shouldn't do, where we should go, what do we want to change or modify with our mind, body, and our soul. So it kind of gives us this great insight. It also gives us a great insight into relationships and connections and really allows us to make some amazing changes really, really fast. Also, full moons are for cleansing. A lot of people forget this one. but full moons are all about releasing energy. So when you go out into the full moon and you release, like you put your stones out there to be cleansed by the moon or whatever else, I will kind of add a side note to that. You should be aware of what sign the moon is in. You shouldn't just put out your jewelry out for any reason or anything else. It should be like, this is a compatible sign with me, or I have a lot of friends that are this sign and we get along. So I know this is going to be a great one. And so they're kind of really cleansing with that energy as well. Full moons are all about communication as well. There's a lot of self-reflecting because you're seeing things differently, and then you're kind of going, hey, Miss Jenny Bug, kind of seeing things differently. You're connecting to things differently. Maybe your communication with other people is changing. Understanding that opening to communication is really important. Now, because all of this is happening while Mercury is in retrograde, is going to be a little funky, because it's one of those, we're going to have this desire to communicate. And a lot of times we may kind of stumble over our words. Don't necessarily like, oh, I don't want to do anything. Just make sure that you're really careful. Hi, Miss Sandra, about like communication during this time frame. And this can be something that can be bringing in some amazing energy for us. Now, let's get down to it. So the amazing part about a blue moon is it doesn't happen very often. And so this energy is kind of like, we've always heard the saying, like, once in a blue moon. Yeah, it happens. It doesn't happen very often, but it will really inspire us because we have these two opportunities, usually one at the beginning of the month and one at the end of the month, to release and let things go. So that's kind of one of those, like, now we get to kind of really let things go, things that are not working for us, things that we're ready to change or amplify or take care of. All of that kind of stuff is for us. Now, our second one, which is actually our blue moon technically, is in the sign of Pisces. And this alignment really is a great way to kind of like open up our spiritual insights, get some very informative, transformative energy, informative and transformative energy. This will be kind of one of those amazing energies of kind of, it can also even open up our own psychic abilities in some different ways. So that can be like something different that we're not used to, because a regular moon is just a regular moon, but this one is like super close. That's what the super part of it comes in, is that it's really, really close to Earth as it orbits. It's just really close right now. Then it's the second one in a calendar month. So it means that it's like shoved in there together. So it's kind of like we're getting double this energy, and then it's really, really close as well. So that kind of really brings up some amazing energy. So on the 30th of August, we are going to have our second full moon. And this is kind of a rare alignment. Like, this only literally happens once, usually once every 2 to 3 years. It does not happen very often. You may see them as early as 19 months apart, but usually they're not too terribly close together. This really comes in about like illumination and bringing things in and changing our energy and our conscious world, because our sun really represents our conscious world, and our moon is all about our emotional energy. So it's kind of like our conscious world is kind of like we are setting ourselves up between our conscious world and our emotional world. So there, things may go one way or the other, or you're like normally very emotional, but now this time you're going to be more aware, consciously aware, or you could be more consciously aware, and now you're going to be very emotional in your emotions with things. This is always a balancing act between the two of them. And this really brings up a lot of energy for us of things that we want to like confront, get rid of, like release. So, you're going to see this in a lot of different ways. Kind of the spiritual side of a blue moon is all about this otherworldly kind of images. And when I was a little kid, I always thought the blue moon was literally blue. No, I wish it was, because they're absolutely gorgeous. Actually, a blue colored, but it does happen, and it just depends on what dust or elements are between us and the moon. But I will tell you, a blue moon is, we've heard this like for years. I remember my parents saying, like, once in a blue moon we'll do this. It means something very rare, that we will do it, but it's very, very rare. And this really symbolizes that rarity, that transformation, that possibility that's rare. when it's time to kind of bring these two together, when you're kind of getting closer to that second full moon, you're going to feel this opportunity to grow and kind of make some new evolutions or some new changes, bring out a material side of you that you may not normally get used to. Some of that is coming in from Venus being in retrograde as well. So that can bring up that element of what are you valuing and where do you want to put your money at. And this can also really push us out of our comfort zones, not like crazy out of our comfort zone, but like, yeah, here it goes. Kind of like make some changes with us, and kind of a change out of our normal society, out of our normal kind of journeys that we're on. This is now our full moon in the sign of Pisces. If y'all have questions, post them out. I will answer them to the best of my ability. I had to make a pot of tea. Okay, so with our full moon in the sign of Pisces, we are going to be kind of walking that fine line between our emotions and our spirituality, and kind of like, where do we come into all of this? This is an extra layer of enchantment with the blue moon. And especially because we've also got Neptune in retrograde in the sign of Pisces, and this moon is in Pisces. So that's going to be kind of bringing up our dream life, things that we want to bring out. And it's really kind of an amazing way for our dream life to kind of give us an amazing insight. So kind of like, where do we want to go with this? Where do we want to end up in this alignment? Our intuition is going to be at a high. Our dream, like we normally would kind of like push aside and we wouldn't deal with, are going to be amping up in front of us. A couple of things to be aware of is, especially during this time with Neptune in retrograde and our full moon, our blue full moon, is really kind of don't avoid. People are like, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it later on. No, this is a really great time to kind of amplify that energy, really amplify what's coming in with this energy, and allow it to kind of really bring up that spiritual side for us. Doing meditations during the full moon can really amplify this as well. And this can really bring up boundaries between like our material world and our spiritual world, and kind of like, where does that line belong, and do we want to change or modify any of that as we do it? I've noticed for myself that I have had boundaries come up of going, I'm choosing not to do this, where normally I would say yes. I'm like, no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to go there. So this has been kind of like an interesting one for me as well. This also really encourages us to look at ourselves and kind of like self-reflect. What do we want? What is it that we want to get rid of in the full moon? And then what do we want to create more of? What do we want to like bring into that energy? Like, what is it that we want to really bring into this amazing energy? Sorry, I have like a new ghost in the house, and he is playing with all of my electronics behind me. Sorry if things light up. It's just him. It is very funny, but he's getting on my nerves. Okay, so one of the things I will say is really about like amping up our spiritual side. This is also going to be bringing in some major connections between ourselves and like, what are the choices that we want to make now? What we made choices in the past, but now what is the new choices that we want to make? One of the things I love about a blue moon or any full moon is ring. I love wearing moonstone. It has an amazing energy in it, and I make sure that I'm wearing it up until the day of the full moon. So I wear it for several, and then I will make sure that I'm wearing it while I'm in the full moon energy of that day, and then I'll carry on for usually a couple of days after to kind of make sure that I really get a great connection to all of that amazing energy. That's going to be like, yay, fun. I will tell people, a lot of people love cleansing jewelry during a super moon or a full moon or whatever else. Make sure that you're only doing that if that full moon is in a sign that's aligned with you. Either you are a Pisces, or you get along with a whole bunch of Pisces, or you have a lot of friends as a Pisces, that kind of gives you an idea of like where you are in all of this. So if Pisces is not your good energy, then don't cleanse your stuff in this full moon. It can kind of like make it an energy that's really pushing you to do things out of realm. Hi, Miss Natbug. Or kind of like things that you're not really accustomed to. So like, I'm really not feeling all of this. I will be doing a dream interpretation probably sometime in September. So I'm going to really, really enjoy that one. Probably towards the end, more like the middle to the end of September. That is going to be a really fun one. That is going to be really fun. I will tell you kind of one of the things to kind of get for your like full moon like rituals is a lot of things I love doing is getting like light colored candles. So this could be like a baby blue or a very light blue or white candles. A lot of times what I'll do is I will really bring in a lot of things that I'm trying to amplify. So if I put like pennies in the candle or near the candle, I'm really trying to amplify money. Sometimes I have friends that I'm trying to amplify their energy. If there's other things that I'm ready to let go of, I will write that down on pieces of paper and I'll usually burn it in the candle. So I'm like releasing all of this negative energy. And sometimes that can be like things that should have been in alignment. That I should have been better with or should have aligned better with and I didn't. So now I'm kind of like letting all of that go. Hi, Miss Karen. How are you doing? This is also a good time to do a really great salt tub. If you haven't done a salt tub in a few days, during the full moon, during that time frame is a really great time. I think it like goes full moon on the 30th. I think like 5 or 5:30, something like that. I don't remember exact time, but I think it's like 5 or 5:30, something like that. So that evening is a really great time to do a salt tub and kind of cleanse things off and like release all of that negative energy that we've been holding on to. Now, is even now, even before the moon gets full, if you have a dream journal, really start thinking about where the moon comes in or how the moon has been affecting your dreams. I guarantee you that beautiful moon has been affecting your thought about it unless you've been writing them down. And a lot of times people just don't write them down. They just don't write them down. And they're like, I think it was about this. But a lot of times like they're missing big gaps over there. So they're not getting the whole story. It's kind of like I saw part of it, but I didn't get all of it. Dream interpretation can be really amazing. Like I said, I will plan to do that one of those sometime late in September. So I'm excited. One of the things I love to do is I will get like a big bowl as big as I have, and usually like a lead crystal bowl. So something like a nice fancy bowl. And I will usually put distilled water in there. And I will put a few drops of essential oil. I love putting like different essential oils, especially like release because it's the full moon. We're letting things go. I could also put a little bit of pink Himalayan sea salt on the top to kind of amplify that. If I have any flower petals from the yard, anything that's new, I love putting those in there. So new flower petals that are coming right now, the way Texas heat has been, like there's nothing flowering in my yard. There just is dead. Everything is dead just about. It has just been cooked in the sun. But I'm and then I will say this is kind of one of those like thinking about the things that I'm going to let go of and kind of like putting that in that energy. I will say definitely to wash your hands in this. A lot of people only like wash their hands like once, but I would like keep dipping it into that water. So you're kind of releasing and letting all of that go. And then once you do kind of really set your intentions, what is coming up next for you? What do you want to bring into your life next? And if any negative images come like, oh my gosh, this could go this way, kind of onto that. You can honor it for just a moment because sometimes that helps kind of like, okay, this could happen, but I'm choosing this. I'm going to put more energy into this because it's kind of the fun way to put it is a negative thought has like one vote. put it this way, it has 1 vote, but a positive energy has 10 votes. So it's like the more positive you keep your thinking, the more 10 votes you get, 10 more, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And so that's kind of the best way to put it. Like, it's okay to have a negative thought once in a while, but you want to have way more positive thoughts. So we kind of keep that energy amplified. Wash my hands in. I usually my put my hands in it and kind of like splash it over me, front and back, kind of like as much as I can. And then I also kind of put my feet in it. I may pour it over my feet and kind of like let that run out into the yard, and imagine like negative energy being washed away and being purified and kind of like releasing from me, because I don't want that negative energy. It's one of those, and like negative energy is it's not good. This is a great time to really say your affirmations to the moon, to the energy, even if you're in your tub or doing your water rituals, kind of like releasing all of that amazing energy in there, kind of like let's talk about our positive energy. I release anything that no longer serves me, or I step into my new healed state. I love being in action. All of those kind of positive statements. Kind of the best way to think about India's. If y'all have any questions, I know I talk really fast. People tell me that all the time. I don't know why people tell me I talk really fast, but I don't think I'm talking really fast. I really don't. But if you have some questions, post them now. Okay, so kind of bringing this all together, our blue moon really allow things to come in healed, to release things, amp up our intuition, really kind of find that spiritual ground between our emotions and our spiritual selves, and kind of finding um, that kind of like that amazing energy with all of that. Understanding the astrology of the event. The Pisces energy is all about that you are flowing in this time frame. Like I said, having the water flow over your hands, or getting in a tub and making sure that water is moving, that's going to kind of release a lot of negative energy for us. And the spiritual significance is this: is like, what do you personally want to tap into? Not what everybody else wants to tap into. What do you want to tap into? So that's one of those like, understanding that astrology is really important during this time frame, and it is going to be affecting us. We blue moon, literally within a few days of going into September, we have 6 planets into retrograde. 6 planets. That's a lot of them. And so that is going to be affecting us in some amazing different ways. And so definitely we want to make sure that we are kind of letting go of all of this and releasing anything that doesn't work for us. And then kind of allowing that nurturing Pisces energy to kind of create that spiritual sanctuary for us, that reflection of like healing and manifestation for what we want of it. And I always tell people, like, this is a great time to, like, what are your desires? What were the things that you wanted to be when you were a kid? Now, I know everybody wanted to be an astronaut or a cowboy or something like that, but there could be some things that could come out in part of this. Maybe you're not going to be an asteroid, but maybe you could an asteroid. You could be an asteroid. That would be so cool. That would be so cool. An astronaut. And that would be something that you could really connect into. You could really have some amazing energy in there going on. I wanted to be a cowgirl, and that I wanted to do it as a profession. I loved horses when I was a kid. So that was one of those things. So maybe for me, it's maybe getting back into riding lessons or something else, kind of reconnecting to that animal side. So let's do some angel cards and see what our angels and guides want us to know about blue moon in the sign of Pisces. And that's the card. The first card I pull is healing. Full moons are all about healing and releasing and letting things go. So make sure that you are connecting to that amazing energy of it, that you of the healing side of this energy. Let's see. Right there. This one is the next one. Music. Music is all about being in the rhythm. Sorry, being in the rhythm of what's going on. I'm taking Nat Bug's suggestion of taking a sip. Being in the rhythm of not only kind of the cross between like releasing and our emotions and our spiritual side and what do we want to do and where do we want to go, that's finding a great balance. And this is a great one to really connect into. This can bring in some amazing energies for us. All right, there. Okay. There could be some new things that you fall in love with. It doesn't always mean a new partner, but it can be some new things that are coming in to modify and change what you're doing, what you're dealing with. All of those amazing energies have some amazing insights for us, but new things coming in. I pulled this card for myself a few months ago, and I was kind of amazed and really enjoyed a lot of the amazing energies. If y'all have any questions, but this is a great time to ask your question. Anything you need to know about the moon energy? So let's see. That's the one. Okay. So our full moon is not really about new beginnings. It's about releasing old stuff. But once you release the old stuff, then you're usually ready for the new stuff to come in the sign of Virgo to come in strong, in the Virgo energy, kind of bringing in that amazing energy for all of us. So just know that we're getting ready for some new beginnings. It's not going to cause any new beginnings. It's going to bring us in some new beginnings. Any other questions? Anything else I can answer for you about our super blue moon in the sign of Pisces? Any questions? I'm going to do one more card. Right there. Let's see. Sandra's saying, does the blue moon affect any of our chakras? It can affect your chakras. This could be something that could come in. A lot of times when I do, our chakras have amazing energy. And so you could do an amazing like chakra meditation. Doesn't have to be during the absolute like the moment that it's full, but it could be like the day before or the day after, and doing a deep chakra. That's kind of the cool part about it. Now, the last card that I pull is probably the most fun and the coolest card because it's all about freedom. You're right, Natbug. It is a great card. It's all about freedom. When we let things go that don't work for us, when we let things go that do not work for us, we get a whole new sense of freedom. We get some freedom that we normally wouldn't have gotten. We've got a sense of freedom that like, yes, this is exactly where I want to go, but this has been holding me back, so I can let that go. This has been holding me back, so I'm going to let that go. Anything that's been holding you back from what you really, really, really desire, let it go. So you can have this newfound freedom, this newfound, yes, I want this energy. Yes, this is where I want to go. And so I want to make sure I did this early this month so that y'all could be ready for our super full moon in the sign of Pisces. So get all of your stuff together, kind of get your, like what you're going to be asking for, what you're going to be dealing with. I have a couple other videos that will launch in the next couple of days and to kind of help you get ready more for this super full moon in the sign of Pisces. But I thank y'all so much for joining me tonight. I thank you guys. I am going to do my promo one more time. There are some dates that just for Instagram, there are coming up in October, and then there are some surprise dates. I have a new ghost tour at the Galvez. We are working on getting some dates scheduled. We have the date, but we've got some things to kind of maneuver in there. So make sure that you keep your eyes open because there's some new stuff coming at me really, really fun soon. And I'm so excited about. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. I know that we'll be talking again soon.